at 6. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A wild string of events ends with some good news tonight. A young child who was in the backseat of a stolen car out of Massachusetts is found safe here in Connecticut. The suspect has been arrested.
It all started when a Toyota Camry was stolen out of Chicopee, Massachusetts with the boy in the back seat. The car found a short time later in a Windsor parking lot without the suspect or the boy inside. The child later determined to be dropped off by the suspect at the Roadway Inn and Suites in East Windsor, and just a short distance away, police ultimately finding the suspect at an Anytime Fitness, taking him into custody there. Police saying the quickness of their Amber Alert helped with their quickness in finding the boy.
The person who found the child in East Windsor, the Amber Alert was key in getting that child back so quickly. They recognized, they heard the Amber Alert, called East Windsor immediately, and so it was a team effort. Anything like this, the abduction of a child, we're going to find him, and the communication was seamless.
We have live team coverage tonight. Fox 61's Matt Caron has new information on the suspect. But first, let's send it out to Brooke Griffin, who spoke to that person who found the boy.
Police tell us little 3-year-old Liam Pagan was found safe here at the Roadway Inn in Windsor this morning. This happening just minutes after an Amber Alert was issued in Massachusetts. State police say at 8:50 a.m. the suspect stole a red Toyota Camry parked on a street in Chicopee, with Liam Pagan still sitting in the back seat. Only 15 minutes later, driving through the Roadway Inn parking lot, where he let that 3-year-old go.
Somebody come and drop off in the parking lot?
Dressed in his green dinosaur printed t-shirt, Liam was wandering through the hotel's back lot when a Good Samaritan noticed something wasn't quite right.
There's a little kid puddle jumping, all alone. I look around, there's no adults, nobody with him. I'm trying to talk to him, and he was afraid of me at first.
David Charbonneau says he walks there every morning, never expecting something like this.
It was just good that fortunate that I was walking my dog at the right time. That because when I went out, he wasn't there. When I walked around the building, he was there. So it was within that 10-minute window they were able to find him.
He convinced Liam to come with them to the hotel lobby. At this point, nobody knew who Liam was or where he came from.
And I grabbed the kids and told the guy that I'm going to keep inside my office. I went to my office with the kids, and then after I called police officer.
The hotel manager saying police arrived within minutes, telling them the shocking news that Liam had been kidnapped. These helpful hotel residents saying they're glad this didn't end much worse, but instead with a seemingly happy, healthy, and physically unharmed little boy.
That's awesome. That's spectacular. I mean, that's the outcome we want is a solution. Whether it's a parent that needs help, or whether it's a criminal that, either way.
This leads us to the second part of this terrifying morning. Once Liam was dropped off, the suspect then drove to a nearby gas station, eventually dumping the car in another location and trying to run away. In Windsor, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And this is where we bring in Fox 61's Matt Caron to continue the timeline for us.
We find Matt less than 5 miles away from Brooke at a shopping center in Windsor where the suspect was captured. Matt, you talked with someone who saw police tackle a man to the ground, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's start with the suspect. His name was Vadim Vorobyov. He's 52 years old, out of Springfield, Massachusetts, and he abandoned that stolen vehicle at the Target Shopping Plaza parking lot, which is across the lot from where we're standing. Then he went inside several of these businesses that you see behind us, including the Anytime Fitness, before finally being arrested inside of the Dollar Tree.
I was just, at my register, checking people out, getting their Easter stuff.
A normal Friday at the Dollar Tree in the Kennedy Marketplace Plaza in Windsor, until it wasn't.
It started out with 4 cars, and then there was up to 20. I think I saw the FBI pull up as well.
Local, state, and federal law enforcement converged on the plaza in search of the suspect who carjacked this Camry with the 3-year-old boy with autism in the back.
And that hits home for me too, because autism runs in my family, and I have 2 children myself, so that would absolutely floor me. And as a mother, that's really concerning, that somebody has the capability to just not care.
And if that was my kid, and I'm going to need to get arrested too, because man, I'm going to jail. I would have whooped that person's so bad.
Police found their man in aisle 4. Genevieve Diggs saw it all from her register.
He was kind of acting sketchy. He was in the back kind of walking around. I've worked retail for like over 10 years, and I've honestly never seen anything like that before.
As police put 52-year-old Vadim Vorobyev in handcuffs, he had a request for them to retrieve his coffee. They declined.
He got arrested, and then he said he wanted coffee.
I'm glad they caught him. I hope he gets locked up for a long time.
Police spent the afternoon scouring the plaza for evidence and surveillance video surrounding the stolen sedan outside Target. Luckily, 3-year-old Liam David Pagan is safe.
That's the most important.
And after his arrest, Vorobyev was taken to the Connecticut State Police Barracks in Hartford, where he was booked on multiple felony charges, including kidnapping, child endangerment, and being a fugitive from justice. He's also facing several separate felony charges out of the crimes that he committed in Massachusetts. He's going to be in court on Monday in Hartford to be arraigned on those charges. He's being held on a $2 million bond. We're live here in Windsor. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Matt. For a recap of the entire timeline plus the exclusive video of the suspect's arrest, download our free Fox 61 News app. Today, family, friends, and lawmakers said goodbye to Joe Liberman. The longtime Connecticut senator died at the age of 82 this week after complications from a fall.
Fox 61's Emma Wolfhorst was in Stamford for the funeral service and shows us how he's being remembered tonight.
It was a somber yet joyous service for the funeral of former Senator Joe Liberman. His loved ones remember not just his political legacy, but who he was as a person and the lasting imprint he made on his community and the world.
The days and months and years ahead will certainly feel as if there is a gaping hole without you with us physically in this world.
Saying goodbye to a father.
But our dad was not Mr. Rogers, but a brilliant, savvy, and accomplished leader.
A senator.
Joe Liberman set out to change the world that he lived in. He did that.
And a friend.
We laughed together, fought like hell together for what we wanted our country to be.
Joe Liberman was a political giant. He represented New Haven in the Connecticut General Assembly and later became Senate Majority Leader. He went on to work as State Attorney General and eventually landed on Capitol Hill, serving 4 terms in the U.S. Senate.
And we accomplished a great deal together as a pair, 2 senators representing the same state.
Liberman led on climate policy, pushed for LGBTQ+ rights, and strengthened the nation's homeland security. He was the nation's first Jewish candidate on a national ticket when he ran alongside Al Gore for the White House in 2000.
What it meant to the Jewish community was really not just the breaking of a barrier, but the opening of a vision.
Friday's service was packed with former colleagues, friends, and family who remembered Liberman as ferociously independent and strong-willed, but endlessly kind.
But Joe's decency was not passive. It wasn't that he just treated people he worked with respect and kindness. His decency was active.
Liberman's bipartisanship was famous and respected, a trait mentioned by all who spoke Friday.
He set the standard for how to be principled yet pragmatic. He held fast to his principles, but he wasn't afraid to negotiate.
I never would have thought that we'd be getting together here and now so soon. But he's not gone, because I know he'll always be remembered in that book where it counts and always listed as a Mensch.
We always ended smiling because we knew there would be another day. And the sadness now is there won't be another day.
After the service, Liberman was buried at his congregation's cemetery. The family says they will be planning a public memorial service in the near future. Reporting in Stamford, Emma Wolfhorst, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Right. Thank you, Emma. Turning to the weather now, a dry and mild start to the weekend. Good to see some sunshine.
It sure is. And a mild weekend is something we better enjoy right now, because next week, things change. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach?
I love how I like mime out the forecast as you're doing it. I'm like, no, rain, bad. Yeah, next week looks wet again, so we are happy to have dry days this weekend. There is a little bit of rain on the way, but it will fall at a really great time for outdoor plans, and we'll explain in just a moment. Upper 40s in Hartford. We're in the low 50s for the New Haven area with blue skies that took a while to develop today. We started off with clouds and some leftover mist and drizzle. Temperatures right now are in the 40s to right around 50 degrees, and that wind is really pumping right now, gusting up between 30 to 40 miles an hour. I think the wind is the highest right now. It will still remain blustery through the evening tonight, but it will slowly start to diminish, especially after 1 a.m. or so. But heading into the day tomorrow, I think we still have a bit of a breeze out there, so we don't fully kick it. Here's a look at that last storm continuing to move away after the second wettest March on record to date. Here's a look at temperatures tonight. By the news at 11, near 40 degrees. Overnight lows will be tumbling back into the 30s, but no weather issues if you're heading out this Friday night, you have any plans. Tomorrow, lots of sun, a bit breezy, highs in the mid to upper 50s with some showers later tomorrow night. They should be gone by daybreak on Sunday. We'll talk about your Easter Sunday forecast and that wet weather next week coming up.
For the UConn men's basketball team advancing to the Elite Eight after taking home another win against San Diego State.
Fox 61 Sports Director Jonah Karp is live in Boston with how the team is feeling. Hi, Jonah.
Hi, Sarah. Well, if you've listened to Dan Hurley talk about what goes into building a winning program, you've probably heard him use the word culture a lot. Bringing in players to fit a culture, respecting other teams' culture, things like that. Well, the culture he's helped create in stores is certainly a winning one.
You know, the culture piece, it's all about just getting the right people together, like-minded people, people that are willing to sacrifice, people that are willing to care, care about the group. Sacrifice, parts of themselves for the overall success of the group.
Cam, what was it about the culture of the Huskies program that made you say, I want to play for that guy and I can win with this team?
Yeah, just the blue-collaredness of it. They pride themselves on a lot of things that I pride myself on as a player, just toughness, making winning plays, just, going about the process and your work the right way. I think Coach Hurley, it starts with Coach Hurley as far as having that little bit of edge when you play, which I try to have as a player. So, I think those are a lot of the things that we had in common.
What a year for Cam Spencer. This team needed offense after losing several of their top scorers from last year. Cam came in and became such a huge piece of the team. He also led the Huskies in scoring in the win over San Diego State in the Sweet 16. Cam and the Huskies return to the court for an Elite Eight matchup with Illinois. That game is tomorrow at 6:09 from here at TD Garden. In Boston, Jonah Karp, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Jonah. He has been a great addition to